Man, so it's about time I got to this one. Fucking B. So first of all, this is like the big brother you never asked for, but was there. Me, him, Deshaun, Jaleo, Kevin, man, look, too many names to say. We were like a family in that daycare. So the first I ever met B, I was outside walking in the grass in the field in between the pavilion and the tennis court of Kettler Park. And I look over and I see him, and he's older than me. And he's like, yo, what are you doing? And I'm like, collecting bugs. I had my jar out and I was putting bugs in it or whatever. So that moment in time is so legendary. Me and him remember it. And if you're not us, you just won't understand. So my mom ends up sending me to the daycare at his house, and we would spend every single day together playing the game, interacting. Like, you just wouldn't understand if you weren't there. I'll put it in his words. You just had to be there to believe it. Like, B, man, we've had some adventures, boy. I'm telling you, like, B was really the first one who would get me to fight shit. Like, he would always try to put us on some girls. I'd be scared back then. I'd be like, no. I remember one time he was like trying to get me with this chick, and I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Man, I'm gonna be honest here, bro. I was scared, so I was like, she's ugly. You know, I just said I didn't want to talk to her. She's ugly. She wasn't ugly at all. She was pretty. This chick hears it. She gets up. She's like, what? And she starts smacking me in the face. And she's telling me I'm white and I'm country and she's black and she's street and all this and that. And I ain't want to hit her because I ain't want to hit a girl, you know. We were raised not to do that. So I remember B and Bo standing there, and Bo's older than B. Bo is just this big nigga who's black as hell. And they were like, man, hit her back. And I'm like, I don't want to. And she kept smacking me. And they're like, hit that bitch. And she kept smacking me. And I kept looking over at them. They're like, hit her. And she just kept smacking me and talking crazy. So I ended up just beating that bitch's ass, and she went home crying. And that's not the first time I had been in a fight or done something like that, but that was the first time I can remember actively not wanting to fight. And niggas was like, do that. You know what I'm saying? So I remember another time Bo tried saying his white foster little brother could whoop me, and B was like, hell no. So they made us fight on the side of the pavilion. And I still remember neither one of us wanted to fight each other. But this white boy was actually swinging at me, and he was like hitting me in the body. So I remember I kept grabbing him and slamming him like he was weak as hell. I kept grabbing him, slamming him, throwing him, tossing him, all that. But I ain't feel like punching him. You know what I'm saying? By this time in life, you know, my mom had me heavy in the church, and I had learned etiquette. So it was really weird with this. Just the experiences were weird. All I can say is I lived in two different worlds simultaneously. But I remember it was obvious this white dude was not fucking with me. You know, I was way stronger than him, and I kept slamming him. But Bo tried to say that dude won because I didn't punch him. So that taught me you absolutely have to destroy somebody so there's no discussion on who won what. You get what I'm saying? I should have just stomped his face out, smashed that shit. But he was pretty innocent, you know, and I was pretty innocent at the time, and It ain't have to be that way. But me and B knew I won. I don't give a fuck. I still remember it was autumn and all those golden and yellow and orange leaves were out. Man, I remember me and Deshaun got all the way to the end of Dino Crisis one time. And B came into the room and made us turn that shit off and put on Resident Evil 3 before we got to the ending. We were so pissed. But Resident Evil 3 was our shit though, still. Like, dude, I remember one time my little brother Kevin, we were at the park and Joe, Kevin used to hang out with Joe, little light-skinned dude. I remember one time Joe was riding his bike up to us, bro. And Joe just had the happiest look on his face. He saw Kevin, his eyes were bright. He just, it was the sweet moments of a child. And B told Kevin, run up and smack him. And back then, like, you gotta understand, like, like you don't, bro, how we grow up is completely different in these streets. Kevin ran up and smacked Joe as soon as Joe stopped the bike. And I'll forever remember this moment. It was so legendary and it makes me so sad because Joe thought shit was sweet. He thought he saw his friends and B was like, go smack him. Kevin and Joe get the fight and then Kevin wins and Joe, you know what I'm saying, cries in defeat. And this is really fucked up. I don't know if I don't know if y'all will see anybody talking about this type of shit, but our lives as kids were magical and violent at the same time. Really violent, because the streets were tough, you know. B didn't want us to be soft. I know that. I know whenever B would tell us to do shit, he didn't want us to be a bitch. He would want us to have hands, you know. He was going through his own shit, you know what I'm saying? Just like how he would tell us to do this and that, fight, go hit something, you know. We used to stand on the corner of Buell and throw rocks at the cars that go by, you know. Older niggas will be telling him to do shit, man. I remember motherfucking Bo and Marcus, motherfucking Chase B, like chase him through the neighborhood, catch him, and they'd pick up sticks and they'd poke him with the sticks. You know what I'm saying? Well, no, y'all don't know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm not even gonna get on there, but they'd catch him and poke him with the sticks. Like, there'd be so many times a motherfucker would come up to the basketball court acting hard and B would whoop him up off it, like, or push him up off it or scare him up off it. I remember one time he whooped one dude and some white dude pulled over his car and jumped outside. It was like, hey, that's not funny. And he picked the other kid up off the ground, you know what I'm saying? Man, I even remember one time B had beef at school or something, and this clique called Seven Figs pulled up, and it was me, B, and D, and we all got punked out, but we were kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still remember that day. I was scared as hell, even though I knew I could whoop the nigga talking shit. I knew I could whoop him, but I don't know why I was scared. These niggas just seemed hard or something. I don't know, like, kid shit, you know what I'm saying? Little, you know, I don't know if y'all know what it's like to be kids and there be gangs and shit out there, but, like, dude, I remember me and B playing Dead or Alive, watching BET, back when BET seemed important, you know. I remember him having all the chicks that he was messing with, their panties in his dresser drawer, and him pulling them out and showing us. I remember so much. He always wanted us to be on point, have hands. He would try to get us females, you know what I'm saying? Like, B was just like the big brother of the daycare, you know? It's almost too perfect to even explain. Like, we were a family, you know? I still remember when we had the Metro team playing in front of the house. And B told me Metro was hardcore. And the other football players and the cheerleaders could beat you up if they wanted to, and I actually believed him. Man. You can't even count the number of video games we played together, the movies we watched, the journeys we went on, you know. It's the vibes, it's the in-between moments. That's why I'm going to illustrate these types of relationships in the comic books, because they're important. Like, I know I'm talking right now, but I'm trying to translate the best I can what them vibes were. And this ain't even good enough. It doesn't do it justice, you know, but you just can't replace these components, you know, that go into building a man. A lot of times I wish we could go back in time, go right back to Kettler Park, you know, and chill out like we used to. We used to play ball tag. We used to play the table game. We used to play at the tennis court. We used to do so much. Hey, those were some good times. Even playing 21 when I sucked and niggas would make me go up to the court and they would want me to guard them just so they could cross me, you know what I'm saying? And be like, oh, I broke a nigga's ankles, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe this universe, maybe it's recording everything and all of these moments are eternalized. And when we die, we'll resurrect and we'll live them again. But I can say one thing. I definitely don't mind re-encountering the legendary souls that I encountered back at Kettler Park during childhood. Anyways, peace out. B is a legend, just like all my friends. Fuck General Motors.